Good morning. I'm Evelyn Churan. This is Churan's Tiny Homestead. This is a camp that I'm building. It was a seasonal camp when I bought it. It is now a one-bedroom bungalow, but turning it into a one-bedroom bungalow made my taxes go up $700 a year. So it's not like everything is that good because it isn't. Uh, I'm paycheck to paycheck. However, I did win my case fully. I have everything in writing that I've got an income for the rest of my life. I got my pensions, everything like that. I've pretty much cut all ties with my career out west. I'm just not interested in the past. I'm trying to move forward. I'm doing everything possible to build up this place. However, my son and I, knock on wood, are considering buying a larger acreage where we can have two houses. For me, I need a granny flat. I don't need a lot of space, but we have two grandchildren or children that they have to think about as well as themselves. So we kind of want more land. And not only this place here is about 45 minutes to an hour away from where my son lives. And with them being in school, work, sports, we never get to see each other. We just live too far apart. I thought this would be okay. This was the best I could find at the time. But now that I've developed this property and I'm still developing it and I'm still going to put in a well, I'm still going to build a shower, stuff like that. In the meantime, we're looking for a farm. Um, Not a functional farm, more for the land, for the kids, for dirt biking and quadding and stuff like that, and for us to do our own gardening. Um, we don't want to raise cows or chickens, all that stuff. It's too much work, and the kids have to work. Like my son and his wife, they both have to work full time because they have to pay their way. And I'm the only one that can do any work because the kids are too young to work yet. Like my grandson can help, but he has to go to school too. So nobody will be there all day to take care of animals. So for one person to do everything alone, I'm finding even with this place, I don't have a lot of help unless I pay somebody $120 an hour. And on top of it, I could only get a 3-year mortgage private lender because of the simple facts that the banks won't touch off-grid properties, and they wouldn't touch something that was not built yet. Not only that, my credit was ruined. So I don't have any credit. So I can't even get help from any banks or anybody. Any banks that I did go to help for charged me $750 for an assessment of the property to tell me, no, I'm not going to give you a loan. And some of the lenders otherwise want 48%, and I have to pay this place off by June 6th of this year. So, yeah, so I'm not having, I don't know, I can probably come up with $30,000, but I owe 42,000. So I'm still trying to do fundraising to get the place completely built. And then I'll probably rent it out or turn it into a campground or something, I don't know, or sell it, should I find a property closer to my family. On that note, finding another piece of land is almost impossible with dwellings on it. We don't even really care too much for we can use wood stoves. We're good that way. We know how to do it. Not a big deal. We have a wood splitter. My son knows how to fell trees. I know enough people that do know how to fell trees, so that's not a problem. We would have free firewood. But it's a lot of work to get it up and running. So, we'd have to put any extra time we have into the property. But this way, my son and I would live closer together. I haven't seen my grandchildren since last May. And this Highway 17 that I live off of is a deadly dangerous highway. And because I've been in camp work my whole life, um, I haven't driven in the winter in 30 years. So I'm absolutely terrified of driving in the winter. My truck stays parked all winter long. And then to drive on Highway 17, I'm just terrified of it. So that's part of my PTSD. So I have now hired a second driver so that somebody babysits my dog and drives me to the city for doctor's appointments. Once I'm in the city, I'm fine. But being out here in the bush, alone, I'm finding too many challenges with my health. I have a lot of injuries from work, that were never claimed and they refuse to recognize, but whatever. I have to live with the pain. I'm not gonna go on painkillers or anything like that. But if I live closer to my son, it would be a lot better for me because I'm not getting any younger. So we're either gonna sell this place or rent it out. But either way, it's gonna go to my grandchildren later on. But I'm still looking, to do fundraising in hopes to pay off the place. I pretty much gave up all my childhood friends, because people are just rude or they're just negative energy or always have something to say about what I'm doing in a negative way. I don't want anybody negative in my life. That's something I've had to take a stand on to try and get myself better. If you're going to post negative things under anything that I post on Facebook or LinkedIn, I'm just gonna block you out of my life. If you're either with me or you're not with me. If you don't respect what I'm doing and you don't support me, you don't pay my bills, so you don't have a right to tell me how to live. If you wanna give me constructive criticism that's gonna help me, I'm fine with that. But if you're just gonna cut me down and everything I'm doing is wrong in your eyes, well, you don't live in it. You don't live my life. So you don't have the right, and you don't pay my bills. So nobody has a right to tell me how to live. Um, I'm 60 years old. I've been paying taxes since I'm 15 years old. I've never had time off. I've never had holidays. I don't go to Costa Rica and stuff like that. It's not my lifestyle. We have a beautiful country in Canada right here. There's no reason for me to gallivant to some other country. To me, it's a waste of money. I've been in the hotel industry my whole life since I'm 15 years old. The last place I want to do is go to a place of tourism, travel and tourism, and live in a hotel and be around millions of people. Another thing we're looking for with our properties is we're looking for faraway neighbors. We don't want neighbors. We want to be left alone. Uh, Drama is not for our lives. It's not something we're into. Uh, so if we do find a farm, obviously your neighbors are going to be quite far away from you where you can have a private life. And that's kind of what me and my family are looking for. We don't really care who's doing what and when they're doing it. Like, it's none of our business. Unless it's happening on our property or happening to us, we don't want anything to do with it. It's not our business. We don't stick our nose in other people's business. Um, we don't really care, right? We're very busy people. Um, we're a European family. European families are very different from a lot of cultures. Our culture is we're raised to work. We always have hobbies. We always have something to do. We take our energy and turn it into positive energy. We'll take one negative and turn it into five positives. We're not into negative. So if people want to post negative comments about me or say negative things to me, you can do it all you want, but you're going to get blocked out and I won't allow it in my life. Unless you're going to be supportive, don't bother me because I really don't care. If you got to be negative, then that's something that you're lacking in your life. I try to live a positive life. I've gone through way too much to tolerate rude people, and I will not accept it. As for the politics in Canada, that's another thing. I'm not really into talking about it with people and posting what other people are saying about this government or that government. I don't care who you are. They all take a vote in parliament. They're all responsible for the situation that we're going through as Canadians. So don't point like me, I'm not pointing fingers at one or the other. I could care less who runs the country as long as they do their jobs properly and don't hurt us as the Canadian taxpayer. Outside of that, I got nothing to say about the politics. I don't want to get involved. It's not my it's not my picnic. It's not my life. Um, I live in the bush. I hire groundskeepers to cut the grass. I hire a plow driver to plow my driveway because it's such a large driveway. But I don't drive in the winter anyways, so it's not that big of a deal. But I do have deliveries that come in because I'm continuing on the build with little pieces that I can afford rather than the big jobs. I'm just paying what I can afford. All I know is I've got to have it paid off, and that's kind of where I'm at. So I don't know. I'm just typing in my email address if anybody wants to make a donation. Um, you know, even a dollar. Uh, I'm just trying to get this property built. I still don't have running water. I still don't have pushed water. I still don't have a shower built. So yeah, I'm not making ends meet perfect. But my cause for this is just to get the build done and try to live a normal life. Like just because I won my case, it doesn't mean I'm rich and all that stuff because that's not reality. And to pay rent at $3,500 a month, again, that's not reality for me. I'm not going to give my money away to 30 unless I own the apartment building, which is a far cry for me. That would be way too expensive. The mortgage, even to put a down payment on an apartment building, I'm nowhere near that kind of money. I have to live within reason and within my means. And that's life. That's just the way it is. I worked for 45 years nonstop without days off. And I didn't even barely get to raise my son. My parents raised them because I was always working. Even my medical cost, medication, getting my teeth fixed, everything's always come out of my pocket. Yeah, I had benefits with my work, but the benefits never covered the amount of medical care that I needed, as well as 90% of your doctor's appointments. What good is medical care or benefits if you can never plan a proper doctor's appointment because you can never get the time off from work? Like I couldn't even, my mom died and they made me work. They wouldn't even give me the night off, and I had to still work before I could even come home to bury my mom and dad. And that's the way my career was. I haven't celebrated Christmas in 40 years because I've always had to work it. Easter, I've never celebrated. That was my life. And I don't know any better. And people that judge me for that, like, I feel sorry for you because Christmas is so marked up like a consumer ripoff. Same with Easter, Halloween, all those holidays. I mean, I don't have small children. I buy Christmas gifts for my grandkids, but they get here when they get here. And then we open gifts together all day. It doesn't have to be Christmas Day. It doesn't have to be your birthday. It doesn't have to be whatever holiday you want to call it. We celebrate God every day. And I think more people should. And we open our gifts when we open our gifts. And we don't get mad at each other over it. And the people that judge me for that, well, it's none of your business. It's not your family. Keep your nose out of our lives. For some reason, some women seem that they have to know every single thing that's going on in my life. So I make a post online on Facebook every day so that these certain people know everything that's going on in my life because they think my life is this big hoopla or something. I make banana bread. I made homemade bread the other day because I ran out of bread. I won't drive in the winter. Plus, why should I pay for it if I know how to make it? I am a chef. And to say that I'm high energy, well, my whole family's high energy. And We've always worked for a living. We don't sit around with our feet up watching TV and playing video games. We try to stay active because it's healthier for us. Yeah, I have aches and pains. Yeah, I have arthritis, but I'm not going to take all kinds of pills and drugs because of my aches and pains. I just take my time. I don't walk as fast or as I used to. I used to walk really fast in the kitchens, but my mother went for walks. And I mean, before she died, she was shoveling her driveway a couple of days prior. So it's just the way our family is. We're active people, we're not lazy people, and we stay involved. With like my family, I make sure to do I gave them a canner for Christmas so they can learn how to do canning and start saving cost. That's our interest. That's my kind of lifestyle. I'm not into going to bars and hotels and going out to a restaurant. Why would I go to a restaurant? I'm a chef. I don't have to go to a restaurant. So all that stuff that people spend money on, I'm opposite. I'm complete opposite. And so many people used to say to me, well, don't you want to go holidays here? Don't you want to go to the Philippines? Don't you want to do this? No, no, I don't want to go where it's travel and tourism. No, I don't want to hang around with a big crowd. I like being left alone. Uh, I had to be around people with my career day in and day out. I had to live with them. I had to live with 12,500 people 24/7. And that was my career. And I got to tell you, not being around 12,500 people is like a walk in the park now. At first, I had a tough time not being around everybody, but now I'm fine. I don't need people around me. There's no reason to panic. If I have a problem where I need the police and I can't phone the police, a friend of mine's a firefighter. She'll get a hold of the OPP for me if I'm in trouble, or my son. She knows what to do. I don't need people picking and probing into my life. I don't like it. I get pissed off at it. Uh, if something changes with the build, I'll let you know. If something, I don't understand why people have to tell me how to live, because not one of them have lifted a finger to help me move, to help me build, to help me clean up the garbage here. Not one of them. These are people that claim to be my friends my whole life. Not one of them helped me. None of them did. So if you weren't there in the hardest of times for me, why would I want you here now? I don't. And the quicker that people understand that, the better off they're going to be. Um, I don't need your drama. I have my own issues. I have my own problems. My family has their own problems, and all families do. But me and my family's issues are not your business, and you need to understand that. So, with the build is completely on hold until next year, but I am getting a couple of truckloads of manure and soil so that I can do gardening properly here, because I have to bring it in. It's all clay here. And I'm also getting 4 bales of hay. So I am looking for milk crates for people to donate milk crates to me. If you can bring it to my home, I'll pay your time. Um, they're, just milk crates, because I'm going to stuff hay in them. I'm going to put my potato seeds and I'm going to stack them on top of each other 4 or 5 high, depending on well, I'm 5'5", so they're 12 inches big. So I can probably go four at a time to grow potatoes that way. And then I'll use less soil. So that's the only thing that I'm doing this year. And I've got 2 more hothouses to be set up. But I'm doing nothing on the build at all whatsoever. I play with my dog. I do my chores every day. And living off grid, you have to have a routine. You can't just say, oh, well, I'm going to live off grid. You can't. You can't. If you're not an active person and you cannot live without, like your video games and constantly watching movies and TVs and curling irons and blow dryers and makeup. Like if that's the lifestyle you're into, this is not the lifestyle for you. If you're a people person where you like to go to hotels and restaurants and places like that, this is not the lifestyle for you. To live this kind of a lifestyle, you got to cut your life in half. All that materialistic stuff you have, sure, if you're a multimillionaire, you can do it. But I don't think too many Canadians can or want to. But to live off grid, you have to make compromises, and it's not going to go your way. You have work every single day. It's a commitment and it's self discipline. And if you can't handle self discipline and taking care of yourself in the bush every single day of the week, because no matter how you feel, you got to get up and do work, whether you like it or not. You got to load the wood stove. You've got to prune trees. You have to go get your wood. Like you can't stack 10 cords of wood inside your house. It doesn't work that way. So these are, dumping porta potties, camping toilets if you don't have proper facilities. All these things, you have to work at them. They don't happen by themselves. So if you're not ready for this kind of a lifestyle, come and stay at a person's place that is off grid. Spend a couple of days with somebody that is off grid. Then it'll give you an idea on whether or not it's the life for you. But I'm telling you, if you got to have a great big gas mask and you can only dump your porta potty once a month, then off grid is not for you. You have to clean every single day. And if you can't clean your place every single day, you're going to end up sick somehow. You're going to catch EBGBs or whatever. But keeping yourself clean is the most important thing. The three things you need: water, heat, shelter. Food will always be there with the bush. If you're a hunter, there's always rabbits, there's weasels, there's deer, there's moose, there's bear, there's fishing, if you're into hunting. But if you're not into hunting, canning your food and looking for stuff on sale is the best way to go. So say if chicken comes on for $2 for 20 pounds, we'll just say, go and get 20 of them and cook them all up, turn it into meals, or can it with whatever flavor. And then you got cooked chicken in jars. Keeping your food in jars, it won't spoil. Where freezers, you'll get freezer burns. So I find jars is better, but you need the space too, and you need the equipment. So there's a lot of challenges with it, but it's not any different than raising children in living in a house. Like it's no different. For me, I have a dog that stays with me, a German Shepherd. So if there's bears or bobcats or anything like that, he corners them or chases them off. So having a dog in the bush is probably one of the most important things, because he'll alert you if there's anything wrong. But that's all I can think of for today. If you'd like to donate to my channel, it's churanevelyn@gmail.com. I put it in a link in the slow mode. I punched it in there because I'm not sure how to put it into a link with the camera yet. I'm working on it. I'm pretty new at this. So have a nice day, Churan's Tiny Homestead. Goodbye. Share it first. Sharing is caring. Goodbye. Edit. For donations. money to